Now, after 9 weeks of skate-offs, sequins and spins, this year's Dancing on Ice champion will be crowned in Sunday's grand final.
Judge Jason Gardiner has been on the ice panel throughout all the drama, and he's had one or two things to say about this year's contestants.
There wasn't a hell of a lot going on. It's frantic, it's a mess.
That don't impress me much.
If you did that on my street, I'd probably call the council. Because the eagle has landed on a bit of a turkey.
That don't impress me much.
It felt a little bit like a French and Saunders parody. This was uncomfortable to watch. You were all over the place.
Maybe if you didn't sell stories on me, I wouldn't have been so upset this week.
There were moments in it that you just looked like you were sedated.
So what do you think, you're Elvis or
I
something?
thought you captured the last days of Elvis brilliantly. At the beginning, I thought you were going to give us a pole dancing poppy. I want to see a little bit more mermaidism.
Can we become sort of friends now?
I wouldn't go that far.
Jason joins us now. I mean, you certainly don't hold back, but you say there is a method in your meanness.
Correct.
Because you get results.
And look at what we've got.
I know.
I mean, you know, we've got Wes in the final, we've got Sarah, and we've got James. And all of them have really come a long way. You know, James couldn't even skate when he started at all.
Well, a lot of people say, oh, he's got an advantage because he's a professional dancer. But he was holding on to the barrier like everybody else when he started. Because you might be able to dance, and he's got great lines in his hands, but he couldn't skate.
He couldn't skate. And that's the thing, you know, he had to unlearn years and years of habits of being a top dancer in order to learn and master skating. And my God, he has mastered skating.
Because I didn't realise, and you just told me this, and I think it's quite interesting, that when you're a dancer, everything is pulled up.
Yeah.
So you pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up,
Yep.
and then you dance from your core.
Yes, that's right.
And then when you're a skater,
It's down
It's
in the
down
knees.
in the knees.
It's down in the knees. So he has had to unlearn years and years of that kind of training that is counterintuitive, actually, for ice skating.
Gosh,
What about Wes?
Well, Wes, I really like Wes because when you think Wes was, a nuclear engineer assistant a year ago and didn't have any dance background, didn't have any sort of skating background at all, and yet through application and listening, because he's a clever boy, he really does listen and he's competitive and he wants to be good and he's really applied himself and he's in the final.
You look at someone like Wes and you think, if you'd have started doing this when you were a kid, could he have been, like, amazing? Because
Yes.
it just seems very natural.
Doesn't he? And that's, I mean, he's 20 years old, so, you know, he doesn't have the same sort of fears as people a little bit older have about falling, you know, and he does bounce back, so you've got that resilience. But I think, had he started younger, I think it could have been a very different story for Wes.
What about Sarah?
What I love about Sarah is that girl, you know, she's the only woman left in the competition, but she's had a tough sort of, you know, journey, and I've been hard on them, you know, because I know that they can do more. I think the problem with Sarah is that she doesn't somehow connect enough with the audience.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? That's what it is, and I think that's why she's found herself in the bottom two. She's brilliant, she gives it her all, but they've got to find that
way.
likability as
This
well.
performance, funnily enough, that we're looking at now, because she loved it so much and was living it, I felt like we lived it with her.
Correct. And that's
And
what
that
she's got
helps.
to do.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said. She's got to live it. Rather than worrying about being absolutely perfect with it, she has to live it. Now they have to live their performances.
Everybody's coming back this weekend for the final. Are you looking forward to having the whole gang back on the ice?
I can't wait to see Didi again.
Yes.
I mean, I absolutely love that woman. So, yeah, it'd be great to see them all. I mean, it's been an amazing series.
Gemma's back.
Who?
The GC?
I thought that was a refrigerator. But, no, look,
You made friends on the last
You
time
did?
were on.
Yeah.
She said you were friends.
She said it. No, look, I don't hold a grudge. You know, I don't really know the woman at all. You know, she falsely accused me of something. Well, so be it. But I've moved on.
Yeah.
Life goes on, and there's more important things to be worried about.
What about Brian?
It broke my heart because Brian, even though, you know, he laughs everything off and everything's one big joke, he really wanted this. You know, he got to the point where I think he turned a corner a couple of weeks ago and he knew That was devastating because in that skate-off, it was neck and neck. We were all thinking, I don't know how to call this. I don't know how to... And then he fell. And it was like, well, it called it for us.
Yeah, really sad. We were sad to lose him last week, that's for sure. You brought to my attention something that I'd never, ever heard of before. And the moment you hear about it, you go, what a brilliant idea. And I think we should talk about it today. And this is over Christmas and January, you took part in a panto down at Crawley.
I did.
And it was a relaxed panto. So just explain what that means.
OK, so here, I'm wearing the T-shirt. It's a relaxed performance. And basically, it allows people that are on the autism spectrum the opportunity to access theatre with their families in an environment that is safe and with modifications, real simple modifications made to the production, but also the theatre themselves. They have to have little safe areas that they can run off to. But it allows these children and people with autism to really enjoy theatre and get a lot out of it, but without having to worry about offending people or people being upset or disturbed, because they can be themselves.
But also, it's not too bright, so they change the lighting a little bit, and no big bangs, no loud noises.
No pyros or anything like that, and they're allowed to get up and run around. And what was so touching, and this was beautiful, I was on stage, and, you know, these kids who have social, learning disabilities were running to the stage, and they would follow you wherever you were going along the front of the stage, just saying, I love you, I love you. It was, honestly, it moved me so much. And then I got to meet a young boy called Ryan and his mum, Maria, who has helped me immeasurably, with this campaign. And we believe that, theatre should be for all. And it's really something that, I'm saying to all theatre producers and theatres, we've got to make theatre accessible, because nobody should miss out on this wonderful world.
So this is not changing the show in any way. This is not changing the script. This is not adapting that. This is purely just making little adjustments to something that's already existing. Not for every show, but for a few shows.
For shows that are appropriate.
Yeah.
We've got shows like Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat that's doing, the rounds at the moment. If kids could miss out on this opportunity, and also what I'm saying to sort of all the pantos is, why aren't all pantos doing this? They all should get on board, because no family should miss out on a great British tradition as panto. But now they are, because it's not accessible.
And also, as you were saying, you met people who brought their children who'd never been to the theatre before, and it can have a profound effect. If you hadn't been to the theatre when you were young, then where would you have been?
Correct. And I just can't believe that children are missing out. I mean, imagine if your kids missed out on being able to go to have that theatre experience. And, theatre does change lives. Theatre does, it's part of culture. It's part of a social, societal connection that we make. And there's lots of stories, and you learn a lot. And it moves people, and these kids get so much out of it. People with autism, they need to have the same access that we all have, especially to theatre.
It's a great idea.
It really is a great idea.
So please, everybody support us.
All right, who's your winner then?
I think Brian has proven that we can never predict who the winner is because of the ice. Honestly, hand on heart, I would be happy for any three of those to take the crown.
What's nice is it's not a foregone conclusion.
No,
and
it
that's
really isn't.
Almost never really been that before, has it? There's always seemed to be a front runner.
There was always a front runner, but this has been such a close competition.
We will see you on Sunday,
You must set it
ITV,
up.
6 p.m. for the grand final. Lovely to see you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.